Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Great Wrestling Alliance. We have a big match here tonight, coming off have a big show here tonight, coming off a big pay-per-view in the last round where Brock Lesnar became our first ever World Heavyweight Champion. So, starting off the night with Abyss versus Great Khali. Both men making their debut here tonight. We'll see what happens. Then we have Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Cora Jade and AJ Lee. And the winner of this match is going to fight to become the first ever women's champion. So if Cora and AJ win, they're going to face off against each other next week. If Ronda and Shayna win, they're going to face off against each other next week. Match number 3, we have Ken Shamrock versus RVD. Another big exciting match. RVD obviously losing last week. Going to be looking for definitely going to be looking to come back. Next we have Kurt Angle versus Jeff Hardy. Jeff making his debut here. Kurt obviously losing to Brock Lesnar in the first ever World Championship match. It's going to be another exciting match. And in the main event to become the first ever Great Wrestling Alliance Hardcore Champion, we have CM Punk versus Sabu. So, big match, big night. First ever episode of Grit. Let's see how we get on. Here we go, first ever match for our weekly television show. Great Khali versus Abyss. Bit of a monster matchup here. Both of these men I'm looking to create. I'm looking to make both of these into big stars down the line. Especially Great Khali. I know obviously Great Khali isn't the most technical of wrestlers, but I actually let my brother pick a guy that he wants to put into the save, and he picked the Great Khali. So I'm looking to possibly have him go up against Brock Lesnar maybe somewhere down the line. I think that'd be a little bit of a fun feud, because I think, I might be wrong, but I think Great Khali joined the WWE after Brock Lesnar left for the first time, and I think he might have been gone by the time Lesnar came back in 2012. They might have spent a couple of months together in the WWE, but I don't think so. And then obviously Abyss being a TNA wrestler, he wouldn't have fought, the likes of your Brock Lesnar's and your Great Khali's. So a little bit of a strange matchup, but I like both of these guys, and I think one thing I was really looking at was creating sort of like a monsters kind of a main event scene. Like, obviously I'm still going to have your guys like your Kurt Angles and your, probably Jeff Hardys and stuff like that somewhere down the line, like jumping up into that main event scene. But like, I really like the idea of having just a big kind of monster main event scene. I was really happy with how the show turned out yesterday. Obviously I didn't have anybody else in mind to become my world champion except for Brock Lesnar. He's the guy that, like, I don't want to say I wanted to build the promotion around him, but he's definitely a guy. Oh, we have the vice grips and he's in the ropes. Yeah, like, I'm not going to say I wanted to build a promotion around him, but I definitely wanted him to be my first main guy. And like, I will be making signings down the line, different people, different times. Going for the pin here. Oh, Abyss kicks out. Yeah, but Brock was always my guy, he was the guy that I had in mind, especially considering, like, I have this as like a Paul Heyman type promotion. Sorry I didn't actually get the chance to edit the arena yet. I'm still using the arena that I used for the Bloodbath pay-per-view, but yeah, I will be making a new arena soon. It's just, after I recorded the video last night, I went straight into to try to create the new hardcore title for the CM Punk and Sabu main event. Oh, I just went for the vice grips and it got reversed. That's the thing about being kind of the monster, you just no-sell everything. It's kind of fun being the Great Khali though, like, it's hard playing against someone like the Great Khali, especially when you're on kind of higher difficulties. But it's fun being the Great Khali because like I think he might have hit me twice in this match. But yeah, it's only like kind of like 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon right now, so I probably will end up recording maybe hopefully 2 more episodes today, so I can hopefully have a little bit of a break. I'm playing basketball tomorrow evening, so I don't know what time I'm going to be home at, and you know, with work and stuff like that as well, I don't know how much time I have to be recording, how much time I have to record videos. So, like, I'm happy enough just tipping away one at a time, and honestly, like I said, like I'm happy with how yesterday went. It took me. I thought it was going to be a lot longer. I thought I could have been playing for 2 or 3 hours, but it was kind of like it was easy enough. How does he have two finishers? Choke slam. Go for the pin. Is he in the ropes? Oh, he's not. Yep, big win. So Khali with the first win. Off to a great start here. Yeah, that's the first match over and done with. So, you know, let's get into the second. So this is match number 2, and like I said earlier on, the winners of this match will face next week for the Women's Championship. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes because I am looking to grow the Women's Championship. Like I'm really looking to have a lot of feuds, and I'm going to build onto my women's roster. Like I said, I was going to do a roster reveal, but I think it's going to be fun to kind of debut one person here and one person there, because it gives me the opportunity to kind of surprise people as well with who's here. Like obviously Ronda and AJ made their debuts last week in the first ever women's match, and yeah, obviously Cora and Shayna making their debuts here today. So like I think I picked 8 people, like 8 women for my roster. So I do have a few more people up my sleeve that I will be using soon. Probably, maybe one of them will debut next week after the women's title match to kind of kick off a little bit of a feud coming up to our next pay-per-view. Because really I just wanted this show here to be about the mid-card title, the new Hardcore Championship, obviously CM Punk and Sabu in the main event. But I'm looking forward to just doing a lot of stuff because obviously the tag team titles soon as well, you know. I don't actually have... I was going to put a tag team match on this card, but I decided that 5 matches is enough for our television show. I done 6 matches on the pay-per-view, but in terms of doing our, you know, weekly television show, I'm only going to do the 5 matches, and I'd already filled up the 5 matches that I had wanted to do before, because I was going to do a tag team match with 2 tag teams that I haven't used yet. So I used the Briscoes and Edge and Christian last week, so I was going to use the Hardys and the Motor City Machine Guns. Those were the 2 tag teams I was going to use this week to kind of grow the tag team division. But I think what I might do is have keep the tag team belts for last. You know, I'm happy to give out the women's title next week, give out the Hardcore Championship this week, and kind of keep the tag titles maybe for the next pay-per-view. And I might do a trios match, or a fatal 4-way tag team match where, you know, it could even be a ladder match. You know, I have Edge and Christian, I have the Hardys, I might bring in the Dudleys, and I might even put another team in. I could do the Motor City Machine Guns, or come up with another tag team that I'd like to see in it. But yeah, there's so many options of what I can do. So, I'm just gonna make my own decisions as it goes along. I've nothing is confirmed yet. I'm like I said, I'm just playing this for fun, nothing serious, and like I might as well just enjoy the ride. Like I'm not going to like structure everything because I think that takes a little bit. Like I don't want to put that much effort in. I'm happy enough just doing what I need to do to. Just doing what I need to do to. And I actually have no stamina left. I thought I'd have enough stamina to knock Ronda off the apron, but I don't. Yep, there we go. Fisherman suplex. Alright, and she kicks out. If we can get a finisher now before Ronda might get up for it. Hopefully. Match 2 down. Another great match, and it looks like it is going to be AJ and Cora next week to see who's going to become the first ever women's champion. I'm really looking forward to playing it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes. These are two women that I really want to use going forward. Both of these women are probably going to be women's champion at some stage. Obviously, one of them's going to win it next week. I'm not sure who it's going to be yet. I'll make the decision as it comes. But yeah, let's get into the next match. So this is the next match: Ken Shamrock versus RVD. When I came up with the idea of the extreme mixed with the shoot style, obviously Brock Lesnar was the first to come to mind for the shoot style, and Ken Shamrock was number 2, like without a shadow of a doubt. Like I really wanted to use Ken Shamrock in this, and like I kind of feel bad giving RVD the loss here, considering he lost to Sabu a couple of days ago. Like I think like I probably will end up giving RVD a win next week on Grit. Try build RVD up, because like I do want RVD to be in and abouts for the hardcore title, just like after we see who wins it between Punk and Sabu. I think RVD will definitely be a challenger for that. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes, and like I think Ken Shamrock, I'm definitely want to do something with Ken Shamrock and I'm wanting to do something with Ken Shamrock and Brock Lesnar for like the main event scene, which is why I'm giving Shamrock the win here. I don't think he's gonna go for. I don't think he's gonna come straight in and face Brock Lesnar as Brock Lesnar's first title defense, but definitely somewhere down the line, Ken Shamrock is gonna be one of my guys. He could be a world champion someday. I'm not too sure. Like I said, I don't think too far ahead. So we take one step at a time, and if it carries us to a point where Shamrock is on fire and Shamrock is, if I can't deny it, then Shamrock is going to be our guy. There's a couple of other kind of guys as well. I was thinking of bringing in guys from the UFC. Like I was really thinking of trying to find like a Frank Mir or someone like that, like a Brock Lesnar rival from the UFC. But yeah, that's something that I could do at another time, at another stage. I don't want to kind of jump straight into that yet. Like I said, like there's so much that I can still do on this, and the possibilities are endless. But I'm happy with the roster that we have at the minute, and in time I will be signing more people, and I will be going out, like I will be trying to make a difference. Jesus, that was a little bit dramatic there by RVD. Yeah, but in time we will be signing more people. There's a lot of different people that I have in mind that will probably work for this, because the like obviously I like the idea of the shoot style. Oh my god, I got reversed. I like the idea of the shoot style main event scene of like an MMA sort of a feel. which is like sort of why I'm kind of in my mind, these in terms of titles, these two guys would be in different positions. Because even though I know RVD has like a little bit of a martial arts background, I'd still put him in my kind of extreme category, like extreme division. He reversed my finisher and my signature, but yeah, no, RVD would be kind of my more like I said the same thing with John Moxley. Even though I know John Moxley has like a I think he was doing judo or something last year, and he was kind of training with different stuff, and like he kind of has that shoot style. I would associate him more with a hardcore mentality, and I think that I think the same thing with RVD, with that ECW kind of thing, and then like with our main event scene, our very first match was Angle and Lesnar, which is arguably two of the greatest shoot style wrestlers of all time. And obviously now we have Shamrock. So another guy that like I was going to keep it a secret, but we've signed Minoru Suzuki. So I'm really wanting to do something with Suzuki and Shamrock, and I might do that as a non-title feud to try to drag out what we're doing. And yeah, like oh, slam there, could get the cover. One, two. Oh, kick out by RVD. But yeah, the possibilities are endless. I'm gonna keep carrying on what I'm doing. Ankle lock, and RVD taps out. Like I said, I feel bad for RVD because I gave him the loss last week to Sabu as well. But yeah, Shamrock is definitely a guy that just look at him. He's a monster. Him against Lesnar, I think, is something that I'm definitely planning on doing. Him against Suzuki is something that I'm definitely planning on doing. But yeah, like I think Shamrock is kind of like a top heel or even a top babyface would be phenomenal. But yeah, let's get into the next match. So we got our co-main event here: Kurt Angle versus Jeff Hardy. I do want to use Jeff as a top guy down the line, but since I'm using him as a singles or as a tag team wrestler at the minute, I don't mind giving him singles losses, which is why I'm using him here against Kurt Angle. I want to build Kurt back up, obviously after losing to Brock last week. Maybe Kurt might go on and challenge Brock in Brock's first title defense also. Or I could keep that match for somewhere down the line to keep it kind of like make it special down the line. Maybe 6 months or maybe a year down the line, Kurt might go back in again. I have a lot of different ideas for Kurt. Like I'd love to do like a feud with Kurt and Shamrock, or even Kurt and Suzuki. I think it'd be really cool. But yeah, like I'm kind of just wanting to kind of come up with stories and stuff like that at the minute, because I think that I keep it a little bit more entertaining than everything being about titles. Yeah, no, Jeff I'll definitely use down the line as in a singles role. And same thing with Matt. Like I love Matt Hardy as a singles wrestler. I loved Mattitude and stuff like that. But yeah, I think like I can definitely see Jeff against Punk or something like that for our like in like a hardcore rivalry down the line. And like obviously I see Kurt stepping up against Brock somewhere down the line as well. Maybe we might do a thing where we switch out Kurt Angle for Park Angle, and have the kind of the TNA angle. Maybe after a couple of months. Same thing. Like I don't think I'm going to use this version of Jeff Hardy forever. I think if Jeff Hardy turns babyface, or not if Jeff Hardy turns babyface. If Jeff Hardy breaks up with Matt and decides like to go out on his own, I think that we'll definitely switch it. Like I'm not the biggest fan of this render of Jeff, or not render, this this creator wrestler of Jeff Hardy. Like, I got it on the community creations, and to be honest, I downloaded everything really quickly, so I didn't really see, like, I didn't even know that Kurt Angle was on the game. I downloaded a Kurt Angle and I downloaded a Ken Shamrock. Uh, Even though those guys were already on the game, I downloaded other versions of them. But yeah, like, same when I went and I downloaded Jeff, you know, like, I didn't really get to see what the yeah, I didn't really get to see what it was like, But yeah, no, we'll use this one for the minute. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's still Jeff Hardy at the end of the day. Like, it's not as if it's completely unrecognizable. It's just like I'm not a big fan like of the, like, he looks so cartoonish, I think. But we'll use it for the minute anyway. Going for an angle slam. Oh, angle slam, goes for the cover. Oh, kick out by Jeff. Go for the ankle lock. We could end 2 matches in a row here with the ankle lock. Obviously, Ken Shamrock winning with the ankle lock in the last match. This is going on for ages. He taps. I was seriously considering letting him out there because, like, I thought that he was going to get out. But Kurt Angle with his first win. That's really exciting to see, because we could go in any direction with Kurt Angle at the minute. He could go straight after Brock Lesnar again. He could go for the hardcore title. We could see Kurt feud with, like I said, your Ken Shamrocks or your Minoru Suzuki's. There's a lot that Kurt Angle can do here in Grit Wrestling. But without further ado, let's get into our main event. Here it is for the Hardcore Championship. This is something that I've been looking forward to for a while. Adding this kind of a belt in. Like, this is an Extreme Rules match as well. We'll see if we do bring weapons into it. Like, I'm really happy with kind of how the belts turned out, considering I made them in literally a few minutes with AI. But yeah, we are being CM Punk here. I am going to try get this title on CM Punk. I want to give Punk a little bit of a run with this belt, and what I'm thinking is maybe having this a little bit like a workhorse belt. Maybe it gets defended every week against another person. Maybe, like, we'll see kind of different people that aren't actually signed to Grit come in and challenge. Maybe one week we could have someone like a Matt Cardona come in. Next week, we could have, different, sort of indie talent from different eras, if that makes sense. Like, I think it'd be cool if, like, 90s, like, wrestlers like Mike Awesome came in, and then, even if we had, like, people from Punk's past. Like, I love the idea of Raven coming in to fight CM Punk, and, like, I know obviously you can't do dog collar matches on 2K, but, like, I really like the idea of, us doing a cage match with Raven, or us doing some kind of a feud with, like, if we could bring in, like, Jimmy Rave or someone like that from Punk's past. Like, I really like the idea that, like, I don't think I'd bring in someone like a Punk rival like John Cena or anything like that. But maybe if, like, I might consider bringing in MJF. There's so much we can do with Punk that, like, it's the reason why I wanted to put the belt on Punk. Like, I had 2 options here. I could put the belt on Punk and bring in people from Punk's past, from, like, the Ring of Honor days and the IWA Mid-South. Like, we have Chris Hero on the roster. That's someone that I'd really like to put Punk in a match with. And, like, I love the idea of Punk versus Hero, 60-minute time limit. But the only problem is playing that. Like, I wouldn't have a problem playing it, but like recording it and having people, like, I don't know how many people would sit down and watch that, if that makes sense. Like, in my head it's a great idea, but like actually executing it might be absolutely abysmal. But yeah, so the options are either doing this kind of stuff with Punk, where bringing in people from Punk's past, from his rivalries on the Indies and his rivalries in ECW and his rivalries. Like, um, I like the idea of bringing in the Pope. Uh, Elijah Burke was his name in WWE, and stuff like that, and people that Punk have feuded with in different parts. But what I also like the idea of doing was bringing in different people from ECW to come in and feud with Sabu. Anaconda Vice locked in here. I think he might have used his resilience. Get out of that one. We got him up for the GTS. He's in the ropes, is he? Covered by Punk. 1, 2. Oh, kick out! Sabu kicking out of the GTS there. That was good there by Sabu, because, getting out of the Anaconda Vice and then kicking out of the GTS, it's no easy feat. I'm really enjoying how this is going at the minute, though, like this match. Sabu on a finisher now, though. We really need to be careful for that leg drop. Yeah, but I'm going to see what we do with CM Punk. I think the idea of the workhorse kind of belt, I don't really know if that stands out to me at the minute. I might do something where, we do a thing with Punk and Raven, or Punk and Jimmy Rave, or like, there's so many ideas of people that I can bring in, and like, even people that are already sort of on the game. Like, we could do Punk again, or VD. We could do, like I said, there's so many directions that we can go with it. Sabu is actually starting to mount to come. Oh no, Sabu is going for the leg drop. We really need to be careful. Oh no, he's letting me get up. Oh yep, he just leg dropped me from the top. Oh yep. Oh, we kicked out. We kind of need to get another GTS here before Sabu. Alright, we'll go fighting back here. Pepsi twist. Oh, Pepsi twist. We're going to call for it. Hopefully this time. Sabu's already kicked out of one. Can we get him with this one? 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new hardcore champion, CM Punk. That was another great match, another great show. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Punk does with this belt. There's, like I said, there's so many directions that we can go in with him defending the belt. I actually really like the look of the belt as well. I know it kind of looks a little bit cheap, but I like the design on it. I think it'd look more realistic if it looked kind of like metal, but it looks very kind of like plastic or something. But like, I'm genuinely happy with that show, and yeah, like, thanks for tuning in and watching, and definitely tune in for the next one. Hopefully it'll be up tomorrow evening. If not, it'll be up Tuesday evening. But no, definitely tune in, because we do have that big women's main event next week between Cora Jade and AJ Lee. But thanks for watching.